Hey guys, welcome back to my channel Rewind That. It's your girl Miss K. If this is your first time coming across my channel, welcome. Please be sure to hit the subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you know when I upload more videos like this one. Alright guys, today we're going to be going over the season premiere of Queen Sugar, Season 5, Episode number 1, called Late February 2020. So you know by the title that obviously this is pre-coronavirus outbreak, and we will be getting those type of things happening later on in the show. We're going to see how the Bordelons and everybody of St. Joe will be living their lives during the pandemic. All right, so let's get into this episode, guys. All right. The episode starts off with Nova, and she's in the mirror cutting her hair as she's saying some type of prayer to her ancestors, right? She's saying out with the old and in with her new. Next, we see Ralph Angel sitting on the porch reading a book, and Blue comes out to tell him that breakfast is ready. So when they go inside, we see that they serve Darla breakfast in bed, in which she lies to her son and tells him that his toast, which was burnt, was good. And of course, she has to spare her baby's feelings because he's coming from a good place and he's just so sweet. But more importantly, we see that Darla has moved in with Ralph Angel and Blue, so they're doing the family thing, which is good as well. Next, we got my favorite couple, Aunt Vi and Hollywood, and they're at the restaurant preparing some pastries. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, sometimes I wish I could put my hand through the TV and grab me one of those cakes, honey, okay? Anyway, so Hollywood is being a little fresh trying to get some, and he eventually convinces Aunt Vi to give him 10 minutes. You know, he's like, let's do it for black love, baby, only 10 minutes. I ain't got nothing to prove. But Aunt Vi is like, break me up. Show me what you got, you know, because she don't want no 10-minute man. She says, look, I need 20 minutes instead, okay? And Hollywood is like, whoa now, I hope I can pull that off. Anyway, we also see that today is a big day for everybody because they're going to be putting away Francis Boudreaux, all right? And we also see that Charlie has created a day to celebrate Saint Josephine, in which the town was named after her, and she is a black woman. All right. We also hear that Hollywood is starting a business and there is a grand opening in the works, but Hollywood says he's not going to do anything until he knows everything is right. Next, the family meets Charlie at the courthouse and they witness the sentencing of Frances Boudreaux. She receives a sentence of 7 years in prison, and the Bordelons were very happy about this, but I was like, that's it? Because I couldn't help to think about how much time she probably would have gotten if she was black, right? So what I did was I looked it up in my state to see how much time someone would get for arson, and it ranges from 10 to 20 years. But in the state of Louisiana, the minimum is 6 years with the max of 20. So she pretty much got off with the minimum sentence, which she definitely deserved more than that, okay, for a premeditated act that affected the livelihood of others. But whatever, right? Anyway, next, Darla tells Ralph Angel that he should go to Nova's launch party, which was taking place that night. She tells him that he should be the bigger person and go support his sister. So Ralph Angel says, I'll think about it, because he's clearly still mad at Nova for writing that tea-spilling book, okay? So then they get a knock at the door, and the delivery guy tells Ralph Angel that he doesn't know what it is, but he needs a signature to leave it with him. And one thing that my mom taught me, guys, is to never sign for delivered mail, okay? Because most of the time it's a legal notice or a subpoena or something, okay? Something that's not good, all right? But of course, it all depends on the situation, okay? So anyway, we see that it's definitely not good news because Ralph Angel was pissed off at whatever it was, all right? Next, we see also that Ralph Angel does decide to go to Nova's launch party for her new website called True Papers, I believe, which was also named after her mother, Trudy Bordelon. So as Nova is speaking to her guests and plays a video for them, Ralph Angel motions for her to meet him in the back. Charlie notices this as well, and she meets them both back there. So Ralph Angel then says to them, it's starting. And then he shows them the notice he received earlier. Next, Charlie calls an emergency council meeting where we find that half the black-owned farmers received a notice that their lands will be seized. And this is obviously the same notice that Ralph Angel received as well. So while Charlie argues back and forth with another council member, Ralph Angel gets up and calls the guy a sellout for backing the building of the highway. Ralph Angel also tells Charlie that he appreciates her help, but everything shouldn't be on her. He then turns to the rest of the council and says, "What are y'all gonna do? A fixture just dropped on the town like a bomb. Y'all all gotta do something." And he's right, because Charlie is kind of like a one-woman show or force, It always seems like she's doing things alone. And in a way, I kind of feel like she don't really mind, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, next, Nova goes to Ralph Angel's house to check on him, and he tells her that no matter what happens, I'm not letting nobody take what my daddy gave to me. That's my land, and I'll bleed for it if I have to. Nova then says it's our mother's resting place as well, and we can't let her peace be disturbed. So it's bad enough that these people continuously keep coming for Ralph Angel's land and all the farmers in the area as well, right? But now that they know their mother's remains are on the land as well, the stakes are even higher. And I really feel bad for Ralph Angel because it just seems like he can never get a break, I mean, I've never seen a man cry so much on TV, and I just hope that when it's all said and done, he will get the happiness he deserves because he's really trying out here, Anyway, Nova tells Ralph Angel that she has his back and they will get through this somehow, and she hopes that one day he can truly and fully forgive her. Ralph Angel tells her that he will try, and all Nova could say is thank you. And you can tell that she says this wholeheartedly because she knows that it's a start. You know what I'm saying? Next, Charlie and Nova go to the court hearing where they argue with Parker and her lawyer about moving forward to build the highway. You know that Charlie is against it, she wants to stop it, and Parker is all for it. Nova then presents the judge with a report from Oklahoma in which the Beckinson group showed disregard for local environments there as well. The report also showed a recent project they completed, which is now classified as Cancer Alley. So Charlie tells the judge that St. Joe needs more time to complete an independent environmental impact report before any evictions of land go forward. So the judge grants Charlie's request. Then she sweetens the deal by ordering that the proposal includes alternate routes on the highway, routes that don't include the Bordelon farm, and routes that will cause the least amount of people losing their land. It would have been nice if no land had to be lost, you know what I'm saying? But you can't win them all. So after they leave the courtroom, Parker congratulates Charlie on her win, but Charlie ain't trying to hear that, okay? She's like, "What do you want, girl?" So Parker tries to get Charlie alone to talk, but Nova was like, "No, boo, you don't get to dismiss me ever, okay? I'm big sis, so whatever you got to say to her, you might as well say it here and right now, because I'm not going nowhere." So Parker proceeds and tells Charlie that maybe they can find some areas where they agree. But Charlie was like, "I don't think there are any areas where we agree." So Parker says, "Okay, if you change your mind, you can call me up and we can meet wherever you want, okay?" Now, my thought was like, yeah, Charlie will definitely meet up with her eventually, but I didn't know that she was going to meet up with her that soon, like in this episode, Anyway, next, Ralph Angel, Blue, and Darla have dinner together, and Blue says to his father that he wants him to say something because he never says grace. He says to Ralph Angel, "I heard you had a good day today." And Ralph Angel says, "Yes, your Aunt Charlie called with some good news." So Blue says, "Well, that's something to be thankful for." So Ralph Angel starts saying grace, and he says, "Thank you, Lord, for my amazing son and my home." But when he gets to Darla, he pauses like he's not sure what to call her. And maybe it just hit him that he needs to come to a place where he says, "Thank God for my beautiful wife." But instead he said, "Thank you, Lord, for the love of my life." Okay. Now, these thoughts came into my mind before we get to the lovely ending where you know what happens, right? Between Darla and Ralph Angel. And I just kind of knew in that moment that he was looking like, I really got to marry this girl, because I don't want to say, "Thank you, Lord, for my beautiful girlfriend." He understands that she deserves a title far beyond that, right? Anyway, so next we see that Charlie meets up with Parker. Of course, like I told you before, it was sooner than I expected, right? So Parker tells Charlie that she's there to sweeten the deal for the farmers. She tells Charlie that they're going to sweeten the deal by taking the eminent domain off the table and pay double of what the government will offer. This way, everybody wins. But she also says that they're going to speed up the process, okay? But Charlie was like, "Look, I'm not taking the deal, okay? I brought you here so you can see the damage Francis Boudreaux caused on your behalf." So Parker says, "You speak for all of St. Joe?" And Charlie says yes. So Parker was like, you sure about that? Because we will see, right? And then she also tells Charlie that this fight has just begun. And I really know that it's going to be one heck of a fight because Charlie and Parker are pretty much one and the same, you know? They are two strong, bullheaded women that don't back down for anything. Next, we get to the Feast of St Josephine, and everyone is happy and just glad for the celebration, you know? But things take a turn when the event's primary sponsor gets up to speak, and it's Parker. This lady just won't go away, okay? She tells everyone that she's honored to have recently been appointed to the board of the Bank of Saint Josephine, and we know that this is not a good thing at all. Anyway, Parker also tells them that thanks to Charlie's hard efforts and concerns, the Beckington group will reroute the highway from North Main Street up to 21st Road. So Parker leaves and she realizes exactly what she has done. She has made it seem like she was praising Charlie, but she was definitely placing the blame on Charlie because she knew daggone well that the things that they're about to do is just, it's disrespectful and it's just, they don't care about people, okay? Anyway, so she leaves and everybody starts to realize that the highway will now tear up the cemetery, okay, where people of St. Joe have buried their loved ones. So everybody's coming at Charlie and she doesn't know what to say. All she could say is that it hasn't been approved yet. So Charlie goes into her office and has a little breakdown and Aunt Vi comes in to check on her. Charlie tells Aunt Vi that she's not okay, but she will be. And you know Charlie, she's a fighter and she tells Aunt Vi that she is going to fight and she's not going to lose because she can't lose, okay? Next, we have a beautiful and romantic moment between Darla and Ralph Angel. You know, they're walking and talking and Ralph Angel mentions the future about how Blue is going to break their hearts and move away and all that stuff. Move away from us, he says, right? And, you know, Darla's like, us? And he said, yeah, I've been thinking about the future, all right? Long story short, it was just a sweet moment when he eventually drops down on one knee and asks Darla to marry him. And I, of course, loved it because I love romance. Anyway, guys, that's how the episode ended with Ralph Angel screaming out, "We getting married, y'all. And this is my wife right here." And that just confirmed for me his thoughts at the dinner table. Like I can't wait to call her my wife. Anyway, so before I end this video, I'd also like to mention that Micah is away at college, and even though he's close to home, he hasn't seen his mom in about 2 months, okay? We find out later on that this could be because he was pledging to become a fraternity brother, which he was able to do successfully, all right? So congratulations, Micah. Also, Nova and Calvin will have conflict in their relationship, as we saw in this episode. Calvin's grandfather may not approve of him and Nova's relationship, right? He may not approve of Calvin being with a black woman. So we'll see how all that goes in the episodes to come. Plus, we see that his ex-wife is going to be at his grandfather's birthday party. Anyway, guys, that's it for today. Let me know what you guys thought of this episode. It was pretty good for me and I enjoyed it, all right? Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell so you know when I upload more videos like this one. Until next time, you guys take care and be blessed. And I will see you in the next video. And if you watch The Oval, that is the one that I will post next. Take care. Bye-bye.